Alright. Just getting that off. Closing YouTube. Hello, everybody. Long time no see for Left for Random Talk. It is episode 62. And Rev is still alive. Yay! He's not talking right now because he's muted.
No, I'm here. I was just making last-minute adjustments
Okay.
to a few things. Just spraying... The fuck was that?
I have a soundboard now. Technically a soundboard. It's a voice modular. I have only 3 noises that I can make. There's the duck, the I forget which one this is. The squeak, and the high-pitched duck.
I know that one. That's funny.
Yeah, but those are the 3 I have.
Yeah, so there's that, as per usual. So hello everyone, welcome again. Yeah, I was on an impromptu vacation.
Hooray for hurricanes.
Yes, also medical reasons, but I won't get into that.
Ooh, you're gonna have to tell me about that later.
Yes. So, we're here. We've got a few things to do. I'm just getting the list for myself.
It's safe to say that we're both kind of out of it right now. We haven't done this in a while.
Oh no, it's not that I'm out of it. It's more of the everyone's talking to me at once, and I'm just kind of like, will this stop?
Yeah. For me, I haven't done this in a while. I've just been streaming a lot of Okami.
It's fine. We've got 5 things today, as per usual.
Yeah.
Not too much of a slow week, but still kind of like, you know. So let's get into it. So first we have the Rev's review, which is the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Recaptured the magic of the original movie and expanded it on amazing ways. Amazing, all things considering.
Mm-hmm. I've seen clips.
Okay. Talking about Resident Evil Project Resistance, an interesting RE game. Concept is yet odd. Gears of War 5, a mess of a story that tries to retcon the series into something that it isn't.
No.
Steam versus Epic Store continues. A clause is found in Steam's agreement that puts devs in legal danger with Steam. And something we haven't done in a while, which is the Fallout 76 BS yet again. Locks new gameplay items behind the Atomic Shop. $5 for collector bots and $7 for fridges. They break their cosmetic-only promise.
Oh boy.
But who could have seen that coming?
I turned down my microphone volume. I forgot I turned up my mic volume because of Okami. It's such a loud game. Oh boy.
I see. But yeah, that's our whole list there, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's get to again, we don't go in order when it comes to the list. Sometimes we'll just pick things as for the night's flow.
Yeah, and I try to move the list accordingly, but
Yeah. So we'll jump into the good first, I suppose. That is the Dark Crystal stuff.
Yay.
So, Netflix recently released created the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance series, which is actually a bit of a prequel to the movie.
Yeah.
That said, however, I should mention it is a prequel, but it's not a prequel to the world. That actually happened elsewhere. You good there? Actually, the real prequel to the series is actually a comic series. If you ever heard or seen of it.
You mentioned it last time we talked about this.
Yeah, basically the comic is more like how things started, effectively. What the world was like, how the Gelflings were, how the Urskeks, the glowing people were like, and what caused the split to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
basically. That's where the comic is like the beginning, but the series is actually more like the midpoint, really, which I liked. So that's basically the brief overview of like where the series sits in terms of like I guess chronologically, more or less. And I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely adore this. I'm so happy.
Yay.
Well, as ever, I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but The Dark Crystal was kind of like my childhood. I used to watch the movie a lot, among other films when I was very little. And so seeing this this TV show recapture that magic and actually make me feel happy and made me forget the world is nothing short of a miracle in this day and age.
Yeah, I remember
and that's saying
watching.
something.
I used to watch that VHS until it literally blew itself up. Scared the
imagine.
shit out of me, but I still loved it.
No, this is the thing. Our cast of characters, right? The protagonists, all have their own stories and arcs, and nobody steps on on anyone else. And I'm like, this is, you know, everything is fucked up when that is a novelty instead of the rule. Oh, am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here. I saw.
Okay, everything just went quiet.
Yeah. I saw some clips of Netflix series because like Tumblr is exploding. Okay, they're happy. They're very happy. They're like showing little gifs and clips of the show, just like showing how even though these characters are puppets, they have emotion. They have character to them.
Yes, they have personality and emotion, despite them being the most like cartoonish things in the universe.
At one point, there was a clip of a Skeksis saying that they were gonna bring the show to life using puppetry. It showed like the Gelflings going like, just groaning and just not happy about it. But recently, I saw another one where one of the characters learns of the niche hobbies of his two friends. One likes to make bombs, the other one likes to play with dead bones. And he just went, huh, okay then.
Exactly.
Just completely accepts it.
Exactly, and that's what I love about it. Everyone in the show, all the characters, feel alive. And that's shockingly amazing. To say the least, really. Then we've got, like... And that's what I actually adored. The show... And so, like I said, who's there?
What?
Pico.
Oh, hi.
Hey, I just thought I'd drop in and see how you were doing, because I heard about the hurricane and all that jazz.
We're fine. We're doing the show.
I know. I thought I'd just double check.
Motherfucker.
Hey, I've been busy with work.
Yes.
Hey, okay, listen.
I need to animate this now. This is something I need to make into a comic.
Yes, please.
But when, because I work at Alorica for FirstNet, right, and I take care of stuff for first responders, so I was getting a lot of calls out of stuff for down in the Florida area and all that stuff, so.
Oh no, the hurricane literally didn't come through here, like, overshot.
Oh, it overshot? Oh.
Yeah, no, the Bahamas is destroyed.
Oh, I
like,
know
the whole island is fucked. Puerto Rico's fine. Florida's fine. The Bahamas just got the word. I was like, oh no.
Well, it literally sat there for a good 36 hours.
Yeah, I think 2 days. Yes. Yes, and we do care about the people there. You know, we are sorry. We hope everything's going well for them.
Oh,
You know, we're not heartless monsters here.
I don't know about you.
I'm
just giving you shit.
I know.
Alright, well, like I said, I just thought I'd stop in and see how you were doing.
No, it's fine. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. See you later, guys.
Alright, see ya.
Well then.
Exactly. Well, I didn't expect that. Oof. And that was Liam projecting like a motherfucker from the Death Star. I
I
had
mean,
to I had to steal
he
that
could
joke.
have popped in at any moment, or just typed something instead. Like he actually has had plenty of fucking time to message you.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't mind. Again, I'm gonna make that a thing now.
Yeah.
I gotta play this back once it goes up, and then like make it as it goes. And anyway, point is, where was it?
Uh, we were talking about the Dark Crystal. I had pointed out that the main character, the male of the main characters, just accepts like the niche hobbies that his two friends have.
Oh yeah, exactly. Rian, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I want to say. Our protagonists, basically, the ones that move the plot forward, are three characters. You got Rian, Deet, and Bria. But that's the thing. All of them, they're not. How do I put it? They're not dependent on each other. Each of them have their own things going on, and yet they have their own stories and they have their own arcs. And like I said, it's amazing. Nobody steps on nobody else's toes in this whole series. It's like, how do I put it? You know how like sometimes when you do a D&D campaign, right? And all the characters just happen to be in the same area, and then oh, there we go.
Mm.
Again, when there's those long pauses, I assume my thing didn't go through.
No, it came through. I'm kind of half here right now.
Yeah, okay. The point is like that's not the case with the series. Everyone starts off from different points.
Mm-hmm.
They encounter each other every so often, but they don't really get together as a team until I want to say like episode 4 or something like that. You know, it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. It's like, wow, I'm loving it. It gives us time to get to know the characters. You know, we get to learn more about Deet or Bria and etc. etc. Like, arguably, some of them move the plot forward more so than others. But that's, again, I appreciate that, you know? Not everyone has to be the main character. It's a weird mix, I want to say.
Yeah.
So we've got that. Here's the amazing thing. Hold on. That they actually made the Skeksis not one-dimensional, and I was surprised by that.
Oh.
Crazy, isn't it? Well, it goes like this. Basically, the series opens with the Skeksis doing the crystal eye thing, right? Or they're just standing there trying to take whatever the crystal gives. But unlike the movie, it doesn't work. And the reason is that they've been doing it for so long, the crystal's done. It's like, I can't give you guys any more life. You're literally draining me over here. So it starts off like that, and basically they're scared that they're going to die. And the scientist, the guy with the weird eye thing, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her. Yeah.
Him.
Him. Oh, him. Right.
Yeah. Excuse me. Basically, he's being tasked to find a solution by the Emperor. He's like, we'll get to it, right? And it's by sheer fucking fuckery and accident that he gets the crystal to start draining things. Like, he's actually messing with it, and it actually tries to drain him of his life. And he realizes, oh shit, I've broken it, basically. Mm-hmm. But it gives him the idea of, wait a minute, maybe I could do this to others. You know, just sinister scientist hand motions. But, you know, you got that, and that's basically what kicks off the plot. They decide, okay, the scientist gets everyone together in the chamber. He captures the love interest of, I think the girlfriend, actually, of Rian, and then he drains her in front of everyone. And Rian just sees it because he's looking for her. It's a completely, like, if he wasn't there at that exact moment, he would have missed it, basically.
Yeah.
And it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying to see this. And that's me saying that, you know, this is the guy who has done horrible things, and I'm saying this is horrifying. You know you fucked up something. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean. It's a horrible it's a horrible thing to see, and you know we've never seen a Gelfling get drained, obviously. So seeing this, it's just this horrible thing. You know, you watch her, the veins on her body appear on her skin. You see her getting progressively weaker, and then gone in fluid form. And and as soon as the fluid or the essence is accumulated in this, excuse me, in this little pool or dish, you see the Skeksis all just descending like vultures, just lapping this stuff up like crazy. Which, you know, it's ironic, they are designed to look like giant birds, but you know, it's more obvious, I should say. But it's horrifying, and there's a brief moment when this is happening where one of them is absolutely disgusted by this as the process is happening. He actually screams, "What have you done?" You know, like he actually cared about this thing, this Gelfling and everything, for a brief second, mind you. Yeah. But it's good. It shows a level of humanity to them, even if it's just there for a second. And ironically, it's from the general too. That's saying something. Before I forget, no, it's not the same general. It's actually a different one. I was confused too. Yeah. So that winds up happening. They start getting, you know, they start the process of trying to gather the other Gelflings. Rian escapes. They want to capture him because he's seen it, and you know they have that weird power of sharing each other's memories, and that's basically what kind of forces the A plot to go along. Then with like D, you have the B plot, which is basically because of what the Skeksis are doing, they're literally poisoning the planet, and some animals suddenly become corrupted with this evil dark essence, and it drives them to really. I'm sorry if you can hear that. Again, some inconsiderate people don't care. But yeah. But that's basically the B plot, where a giant underground tree tells her to go and talk to someone and basically help them stop the infection. Yes, you heard me right. A giant underground tree tells her to do this.
I'm not really surprised.
It sounds more out of left field when you think about it, but at the same time it's like, this is a weird planet, who cares? I don't. Still, point is, it's very D&D-esque, you know? All the characters are being pushed down the path of the adventure, but it doesn't feel forced. It seems predestined, I should say. So you got that. You got Deet going out there to the world to get help for the darkness that's spreading. And then you have Brea, who's more curious about the world and is trying to understand why the Skeksis are like this and X, Y, and Z. She sees more of their cruelty when they come for, like, tribute from her village. So basically all things line up to this point. And from there, that's basically where the adventure begins, you know, and from there they start solving things, you know. The resistance is sparked at some point, I should say. However, there are a few other characters that join in the adventure as well. One that the fandom seems to have gravitated towards is a podling called Hup. Mm-hmm. You're on Tumblr more often than I am.
Yeah.
So you've probably seen this, or seen the character, I should say.
Maybe.
Basically, Hup's whole thing. His whole thing is he wants to be a paladin, which isn't like the D&D version. It's more, they're guards, basically. You know, like knights, effectively. But that's his job. He wants to be the first podlin paladin, but instead of having a sword or something, he has a spoon. I'm not joking. He literally has a wooden spoon to fight. What? Go ahead.
What?
I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he has a spoon, fights people. Very encourageable.
Okay, actually now, okay. I'm a dungeon master for D&D on Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
and Ostrich has a character in it. I think I might have said this story before. At one point, a so-called high priest of an evil goddess showed up and bought their largest keg of booze.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't pay in money, he pays in cursed items or just random trinkets. So he gives them a beautiful silver spoon that is cursed, but it's also really powerful if you hit somebody with it. Ostrich's character is a gnome, so he's very tiny. He gladly accepts the spoon. They get it decursed. It adds like +1 to attack and +1 to the damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really painful club in the shape of a spoon.
Ah.
And whenever Ostrich wants to be funny to hit somebody, he'll take out his spoon and whack him on the nose. Or on the kneecap.
That's funny. Basically, that's the same thing with Hup. It's a very small wooden spoon.
Yeah.
And, well, that's the thing. He makes it obvious that it's the only weapon he's got. Because basically, podlings are very, how do I put it in a nice way? They're stupid. That's the nicest word I can give for them. But basically, they're very primitive, dumb. But, so they make do with what they can. And naturally, Hop is just, well, everyone seems to adore him, and I can't blame them. He's small yet courageous. Like, the first thing you actually see of Hop is he saves Deep from a spitter, which is this giant black spider. And it basically attacks by just, like, spitting up webbing at you, basically. Yeah, very nasty. But he comes to her aid, jumps into the air, and winds up getting webbed by the thing. But instead of, like, panicking, he's more like, I see, this wasn't part of my plan, but I'll make do. She tries to help the poor thing, grabs him, and accidentally launches him right into the spitter, so he smacks it face first. She apologizes, he's like, no, do it again. So she uses him as a wrecking ball and smacks the spitter right in the face. He gets sent flying because the webbing breaks. And the spitter's just like, okay, what? Fuck this, I'm leaving. And from there, he's more like, yes, I did it. But like I said, he's small yet courageous. That's hard not to admire. I still wish we could give him something other than a spoon, but whatever. We'll make do again. So we got that. Anyway, and so these two become close friends, and I actually appreciate it greatly. But like I said, that's where the supporting cast really shines. They are, how do I put it? They help each other, they kind of move the plot along, but they also humanize the other protagonists. You know, they give their worries, their woes, a great sense of, personality to it, I should say. Anyway, from there, basically, the plot kind of, I should also mention this. There is a very weird puppet in the series, even weirder than Dark Crystal should.
That's a surprise.
And that, well, if I'm saying it, you know, it's very odd. But it's basically a golem. It's a pile of rocks that is put together by a gemstone. But the thing about it is this most misshapen, unusual thing I think I've ever seen. And it's not in the sense of, like, we ran out of material to build this thing. It's more like by design, you know? I should say. I'm trying to find the creature. Or, try to find it, or a good image of it. This is the problem. Because the thing's name is... I'm getting results for different shit. It's like, no, I know what's happening. I don't need an explanation video. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Again, the downside of naming a creature that the internet has used time and time again. Fuck it, I'm gonna have to go with this. Please note, this isn't a representation of the full puppet. It's just what I could find.
Reading.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Lore. He is this misshapen creature with, and I'm not kidding about this. His arm, or his left arm, I should say, is a it's a cylinder, right? The type you would use to play back messages on old gramophones.
Yeah, like that's funnel.
Exactly, that's basically what he is. He is this gigantic voice message device. That's basically its point. Lore was created by two others, and it basically is, here's the message, the Skeksis are evil, come to this location, we'll tell you how to defeat them. But that's the thing, Lore isn't like this gigantic brute or monster. He's more like, how do I put it? He's strong, but he's not violent. He uses his strength as kind of like a, okay, this needs to happen now kind of thing, instead of first option. If that makes sense. I see. I'm talking complete nonsense. No, I'm not kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm joking. But that's the thing. Lore is an unusual puppet because its body's design is very off. You know, it's oh god, what's the name of it? Where one side isn't the same as the other. What's it called? Oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to remember. Asymmetrical, that's it, asymmetrical. Where parts of its body just doesn't match up with the other. So naturally, trying to puppeteer such a creature it's very difficult, as you can imagine. So a lot of Lore scenes wind up being CGI'd, obviously. Because again, it's very obvious when you watch certain parts of the puppet, or when it's in close-ups. They're puppeteering certain parts, like the whole puppet isn't there. It's just maybe the head, or etc., etc., etc. But this is the weird thing. I don't mind it being mostly CG, because again, this is the thing that CG should have been used from the get-go, which is hide the shortcomings of something. That's all it should have ever been. But no. Anyway, so we've got that. We got Lore, we got all that. So they go out there. Oh, by the way, I'm kind of like just skimming as much as I can because this is a very long show and a lot happens in it. But not in a bad way. It's more like there's political intrigue, there is plots going on in different directions, etc. And like I said, it's very crazy. But in a good way. Yeah. Anyway. So we actually get to, sorry, another point I want to mention is that during this time, during this series, you do see horrible things. You actually see that the Skeksis are like, you know how like in the movie, they always mention the, what's the word? How the Skeksis just were slaughtering Gelflings left and right, you know?
Yeah.
We see that. We see that in the series, and it's as horrifying as it sounds.
Yeah.
And what really drove the point is that we always assumed that they did this because, you know, they're trying to stave off old age. But in this, again, due to puppet limitations, we don't see the Skeksis getting any younger. It's more, you know, they're drinking it. The benefits are internal, I want to say. Like, they can stand up straight and things of that nature, I should say. But it's horrifying how they're doing it. Like, this isn't a procedure to keep them alive. This is like, they're drinking this stuff with their food. And it's like I said, it's disgusting. That's the best way of putting it.
Yep.
But in the sense of, like, you're just consuming it to consume it. You don't even care about the benefits, do you? I didn't think I could hate them anymore, but this show proves me wrong. Again, but in a good way, I should say. So that's happening. Again, it's horrifying. And that's kind of what makes you root for the Gelfling. Is like, you know what? I want to see these people get knocked down a peg or two. Go for it, little puppets from hell. You know. I should also mention this. Bill and I were actually talking about this, I think 2 nights ago, roughly. And you know how our personalities kind of bounce off each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bill is, he's the more patient, the more calm, level-headed one. And I'm more like, you know what? I just want to kill this thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Except when it comes to his grandma, then dear gods.
Exactly, but that's the point I want to make. In the series, we actually are introduced to a character, or I should say 2 characters, that are exactly the same. The Hunter and the Archer. Have you seen the Hunter at all?
No.
Let me... Finding an image for him, that's not difficult. Oh, by the way, I should also mention this. The puppets are very expressive. And it's surprising. Like, in the sense of, like...
There was a post that popped up. I only saw it for a glimpse, but it's still burned in my brain. Of a Skeksis taking a bath.
Oh,
Like, I saw it and went, oh my god.
You think... That's the thing. There is a full, like, 2 or so... Like, actually, a full scene of just 3 of them bathing. And it's like, please don't. Oh my god, please stop this. I don't need to see this. But again, I'm gonna be honest, their body type is very telling. You know, they're extremely fat, but also gaunt. And it's kind of funny when you think about it. How can something so frail be so fat at the same time? Yeah, but you're the lucky one, you're the lucky one on that. Ugh. Anyway, but like I said, the puppets are very expressive, and when you look at it, it's quite... Oops, I sent that to the wrong person.
Oh no. Who did you send it to?
No, I sent the lore image to the wrong... to Mort by mistake. So I was like, what is this? Alright, let me send that over. So, like I said, the puppets are very expressive, and I actually enjoy it. Hopefully I sent that to the right person.
Yeah, you did.
Good, yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think, like, there's a...
Go on.
We're so saturated with CGI stuff these days.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where, even when you've grown up watching The Dark Crystal or any Jim Henson movie that has puppetry, CGI has kind of ruined some of it for you.
Yeah.
I saw a post of 2 Gelflings sitting at a fire, and one of them is looking at the other, and the chick had, like, solid black eyes. And somebody commented, you can see just how much love he has for this character. And I'm looking at it, and because I've been forced to grow up with CGI, I don't see the expression. Like, not as well as I used to. And
exactly, and that's the problem.
As amazing as the puppets are, and I know that they're expressive, like, their eyes are very expressive, the way they move their heads, their arms, and their mouth is very expressive. It's simple looks of a smile and a look of love that you can't really get through a puppet. Not very well, at least.
Yes, and that's the thing I'm gonna... Excuse me. And that's the thing I'm gonna give the series, is that the fact that they managed to do this... there are problems. Some of the movements are very stiff and jolted, as you can imagine. Again, there are some problems you can't overcome. The Gelflings will always have this very stiff motion to them. They'll always be kind of wooden. But you can get around it. And it works. But yeah. But to go back to it, to bring it back to the hunter. This is the character, and I'm sending it via here, because my God, the image is powerful. It's one of those.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Saving images. I'm gonna put this.
Saving images.
I have to do that so I can show people.
No, I'm joking.
OBS.
I'm joking. But no, this guy is. Yeah, I know.
He looks awesome.
He is actually, and this is. So basically, he's actually. All the other Skeksis fear him, like flat out. They're terrified of this guy.
Not surprised.
And look at him. He's wearing dead things.
Mm-hmm. He's you.
Exactly. But I mean, I'm getting to that. So it's the Chamberlain who summons him because basically Rian is still out there, and they're working too slow to find him. So he tells him, he summons him to the castle and actually convinces him, look, go find him, bring him back alive, so that way I can, get back in the good graces with the Emperor, and then you can kill him. The Chamberlain living up to his style, basically.
Yeah.
And the hunter flat out doesn't want to help him. Because to him, all that matters is hunting things down. That's all that drives this particular Skeksis. Even when the Chamberlain says, I'm just doing this to get my chair back, the hunter berates him and even says, bah, you hunt a chair. I'm out of here. But of course. But basically that's what he says. Paraphrased, obviously, but that's basically, he doesn't care about the court side politics the Skeksis involve themselves. He just doesn't give a shit. But he forces the Chamberlain to lie, claim that Rian's making up shit, basically. And then after that, basically, the hunter's like, okay, fine, I'll go kill him, but I want his tongue as a trophy. And then he leaves. This guy is insane. Like, you know how the Skeksis move. Very decrepit, very slow and methodical.
Very gangly and all that, yeah.
This guy can run.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of, I'm trying to find a gif of it. But basically, all these years in isolation has not left him decrepit. We are talking about climbing trees, leaping from the branches like it's nothing, going on all fours, the kind of animalistic hunting behavior someone who just lives like an animal exhibits. And again, the fact that we're talking about a Skeksis here should tell you something.
Yeah.
And it's like, oof. It's like, good lord. But yeah, that's basically what the hunter is. And by the way, you know how they, I should also mention this, we know that the Skeksis have 4 arms, right? Yeah. 2 normal ones, 2 very shriveled ones on the back.
Yep.
His arms are not shriveled. So not only does he have the very powerful forward arms, he has 2 extra ones ready to go. He actually uses them when he fights Rian in his fall.
So in short, he's a Skeksis who's not gone soft.
Exactly, and he flat out hates the others for what they've become.
Yeah.
That's what I can appreciate. He just looks at them like, unbelievable. It's like the kid that's like, how are we related?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, he's basically me to a T, dedicated to the hunt and doesn't let anything get in the way. His opposite, on the other hand, is totally different. He is the archer, and his whole thing is he's slow, calm, and doesn't hunt for the sport of it, but more because he needs to eat, but also is willing to guide and help someone when they need it. I.e., built to a T. Again, it's crazy when you think about it. It's like watching holy shit. We're being spied on.
Yeah.
But no, basically the two, they have a bit of a back and forth. The archer's more concerned about his place in the world. He wants to stop his darker half, but he doesn't know how to do it. He knows that, whatever he does to himself, the archer, the hunter will feel it. But you see where the problem kind of comes in. He wants to stop his darker, but he just can't do it. Because anything, he'll hurt himself. He doesn't want to die just yet. Well, I should rephrase that. He doesn't know how his story ends yet, basically.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a problem between the two. Anyway, their rivalry actually comes to a serious head when the crew finally meets up with the people who created the message. And you will not believe who it is. Or what they are, I should say. No, go, by all means, guess. I hate these I hate it when the thing pauses like 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm waiting for you to tell us. 'Cause I don't have anything to say.
Oh no, that wasn't it. It's my microphone died on me for a second. It just decided to unplug itself. It's like, nope, you're not going to talk anymore. Pain in the ass. No, basically, it turns out that the people who sent the message to get the others to meet with them is a Skeksis and a mystic living together. Crazy, isn't it? They don't hate each other. They're known as Urgo, the Wanderer, and Heretic. According to Heretic, he used to be a horrible, horrible conqueror. We're talking, there's this village of innocent people. I'm going to demolish to assert dominance. But they're not even armed. Nope, we're doing it anyways. But something happened that kind of made him stop wanting to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
To the point where he betrays his own, leaves them, joins with Urgo, and the two kind of live together. As, hermits, basically. Problem is, they don't really get along. It's more like Urgo is very slow and Heretic is very quick to speak and everything. And he's kind of annoyed by the fact that he's so slow. He even says, mystics, 4 arms yet 2 legs, and so slow. He's also slightly crazy. Yet has aged remarkably well compared to the others. Which, again, when you look back, it's like, whoa. How did you do that? Yeah. Yeah, it's like, compared to everyone else, he doesn't look... He's obviously crazy.
All the other Skeksis we've seen... I'm actually somewhat noticing a tiny bit of a trend here.
Go on.
The Hunter...
Mm-hmm.
In a way, you could say he's a bit deranged.
Yes.
This guy, he does not live like the other Skeksis, yes?
Exactly.
He is deranged.
Yes.
But all the other Skeksis, living the way they are, the only deranged part about them is their lack of humility and humanity when they kill gelflings. But other than that, they are very much sane.
Yeah, it's more like, how do I put it? There's an aspect of their personality that sticks out. Mm-hmm. Like, hypothetically, like the fat one. His whole thing is he likes food. So you see that aspect a bit more. The scientist obviously likes science. So he's more clinical, he's more cruel in that department. But these two, they're more out there, I want to say. Yes, and before anyone asks, yes, that spike is going through his head. When he scratches, you can actually hear something squish back there.
Ooh.
Which makes you wonder, what the hell did your people do to you?
I think they tried to lobotomize him.
I don't doubt it.
That's literally what they used to do.
Oof.
Like,
and yet he's saying...
It's not something I like talking about, but, like, they used to stick a nail or something in there and just swish it around to lobotomize you and then pull it out, and there's your lobotomy.
Yeah, with him it's more like they missed and wound up impaling something else.
Yeah.
Because he's fine. He's just very eccentric. Like when the group finally meets with him, and he meets Hup, he immediately says, "Yes, please bring your slave with you." And they immediately, they go, no. And they say, "He's not our slave. He's our friend." And his immediate reaction is, "Oh, even better." Then a little bit later, he's talking to the others. He's talking about making a surprise for them, or doing a surprise, and then immediately says, "But we will need your slave friend for a moment." And Up even looks at him like, "The fuck, man."
Wow.
Yes, but like I said, this is the funny thing. Out of all the Skeksis out there, I actually like Heretic. Because he isn't, aside from not being evil, obviously, he's not a bad conversationalist, He's just very excitable. Even his other half is enjoyable. He's slow and old, so you can get used to that. I should also... That said, however, their surprise is basically retelling the events of the comic through puppets. Yes. They actually do puppets doing a puppet show.
You know the cast and crew just had a fit with that.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But I'm actually convinced that you know the guy that does those really good hand puppets? Where
Oh yeah. The one on YouTube, or
yeah, the guy with the chicken.
Yeah.
I am convinced they got him to do that bit because one of the puppets they use is the exact setup as his bug puppet. It even moves the same way.
I would not be surprised.
I mean, if they did, that's great. I love that guy.
Hell yeah.
But still, like I said, so you got him basically being himself, and finally, at the end, you see the hunter fighting the archer, or they finally meet. And the archer basically wounds himself by, shooting arrows into the hunter's body. And you realize, like, oh my god, he killed himself. Because it really hits you hard. It's like, no, don't do that. I should also mention the creatures of this series are quite impressive. Like, just pure creativity at its finest. There's a manta ray with elephant trunks for propulsion. Yes, it exists.
Power of sneeze. I must go. My people need me.
Exactly. Just starts sneezing itself away. But no, technically...
Imagine how many lines of cocaine it could do.
Yes. But that's what
Oh, wait, no, I need to go in reverse.
But it isn't just that. Like, they bring in a lot of new creatures as well. They bring back the Striders, which I was quite pleased about.
Oh, those things.
Yeah, the model is the puppet is a bit different, but not like, how do I put it? It doesn't distract. It's more like, they've just changed it slightly, like made it a bit.
Yeah.
Actually gave it skin, I should say, not just I can see the outline of the costume.
Yeah.
So you got that. You got a weird little gremlin thing, by the way, that lives in a library, or a species that lives near a library. And they just make the librarian's life hell by eating all the paper. No, actually, I found it.
Oh, dear God.
It's very unusual, but also very small, even compared to other creatures.
Oh my God! It's a monkey.
Basically.
I was gonna say it's cute, and then I realized it's a monkey. I don't like monkeys.
They're kind of on the aggressive side. They're just like, please don't touch me. So there's that. There's also Fizzgigs, the furball with teeth.
Oh God.
they're everywhere. I was happy when there was only one of you. Please go away. There's even one with an eye patch, which I found both funny and ridiculous. It's like, what happened to you? But, you've got that going on. Let's see. Yeah, right. So that basically happens. The rest decide. Like I said, in the brief time that they've been absent, things have only gone from bad to worse. First off, the Skeksis have recruited the Spitters to fight for them, or the Aratham, I think they're called. Yeah, Aratham. Those, how do I put it? Basically, the Aratham are the pre-stage of the Garthams, but they have a hive mind, and it's very, very disturbing. Okay, imagine, if you will, a spider the size of a small horse. And there you go. That is an Aratham, or the Spitter. Oof. They are the most, like... I'm not going to say they're horrible, it's just they're very nightmare-inducing kind of... And I want it to go away, please. Shoo. So yeah, but basically, they're... The way they speak, or the way they communicate with others, they'll actually stand on each other and form a face. And then the face will speak. It's as weird as it sounds. And it's just kind of like, the fuck is... Why can you do this? Please go away.
Oh my gods, no. What is that?
Yes.
Oh my gods.
Yes. Hold on. Logan, what are you doing?
I'm not sharing that.
They're horrible. But they're sentient. And the only reason why they're working with the Skeksis is because... Basically, I should have mentioned this before. There is different types of Gelfling tribes out there. All of them about... I think there are 7 different tribes. One of them lives underground, which is Deet's race. Now, they're actually quite... You know how in some fantasy settings greenish in pigmentation?
What are greenish?
Druids.
Yeah.
That's basically her whole race. They have a green hue to them. But they live underground because Skeksis gave the underground labyrinth of tunnels that used to be the Aratham's home to them and forced them to the surface. The Aratham hate them because of that, but now they're making a deal. Hey, kill the Gelflings underground, kill them or help us gather them, and we'll give you your homes back. They agree. But remember that corruption I mentioned?
Yep.
Yeah, that's affected a species of underground worm to the point where it's become carnivorous and just hellish. And so they literally are sending them to die. It's horrible when you think about it, but it's true. So they get tricked, and another thing that makes these spiders worse is there is a smaller version of them.
Oh no.
Like, no bigger than your hand.
No!
Yes, and what they do is they'll climb up and latch themselves onto your face and then control you. Exactly. It's as bad as it sounds. But here's the crazy thing. They're not malicious. They don't hate things. They're just doing things, they're working with them because they just want to get their house back. And, normally people like you and me, we would kill these things without a moment's hesitation. If someone, they've been possessed, the person they are is no longer there. That's the mindset. Turns out that's not the case. Deet actually saves her little brother who's been captured by one of these creatures. She saves him from a giant worm. And in return, it tells the other spiders to not latch on to them. And they get an audience with the, the Ascendancy. That's the hive mind. And they actually strike a deal with them. Basically, if they agreed to get them out of the caves in safety. In exchange, they only asked to align themselves against the Skeksis. And they actually do. They actually work together.
Yay.
That's great. Stay away from me. I don't want anything to do with you giant spiders. Please.
Like, no joke, just before the podcast started, I let the dogs outside and I had to close the gate because my brother, quote unquote, remembered to close it. He didn't. And as I am wedging a shovel underneath the gap of this gate, I don't know what it was exactly, but something big and buzzing flew into my hair and got tangled.
Oh god, no.
So I spent 5 minutes freaking out and flipping my hair about with this thing buzzing right next to my ear. I think it might have been a very, very large hornet or something. Because finally, like, the buzzing in my ear stopped. And then I saw something moving underneath my shirt. Just shake it. Lands on the ground. I walk away as quickly as I can.
Oh, good. But like
Let
I said,
the dogs deal with it. I do not care.
Exactly. No, but like I said, these spiders is like, please stay away. I get it. We're friends. Please don't. But that's the thing. It's surprising, you know. You'd see these bugs being aggressive and dangerous, and most of the series you think, oh, they're what's the word? Excuse me. Oh, they're just monsters. No, they're sentient, and they actually care about people. Crazy, isn't it? But yeah, so that's one alliance set in stone. The rest of them kind of deal with it as they go along, etc., etc. Yeah, but it turns out that the Skeksis have no army. The Gartham don't exist at this point. It's the Chamberlain who comes up with the idea of, what if we build our own army? And the scientist is basically coerced to make an army. And this is where the fucked up thing comes in. He makes the Gartham out of the shells and body parts of dead Aratham, or Aratham, and the pieces of a slave species they have called Grunats. Sad, terrible creatures, really. And that's how he makes them. They're literally Frankensteins from hell. I mean, I like they've touched up the Gartham design. I like it. You know, they've made it a bit more menacing, and the eyes actually look more alive in that show. And once you find out how they're made, you can't look at them the same way again. So you got that, where was I? Oh, right. It's insane, really, when you think about it. Hell, even partway through the story, the hunter dies, actually. They...
I was actually going to ask, like, what happened to the hunter? Like, is he still going?
No, basically, after he gets off the trunk manta ray, which I'm calling, he drags Bria, which is Rian's friend, I want to say, because he falls in love with Deet. There's actually a connection between the two that I appreciate. But as he's dragging her in, cage and everything, he makes it there. He's still got 3 arrows sticking out of his body. He gets to the throne room. All of them are kind of like freaking out. It's like, holy shit, what happened? The scientist actually gets up, touches him on the shoulder, and he collapses, like falls face first to the ground. And he's dead. Or he's close to death. Now here's the crazy thing. They fear him like no one's business, right? They actually try to save his life. I'm not joking. The Emperor even says we can't let him. I don't care if we have to drain 1,000 Gelflings and keep pumping his body full of essence. We need him alive. We're not letting him die. Because despite the fact that some of them hate each other, basically, they care. They actually don't want to see their race die. Again, when you think about them, you don't think about this humanity, but there it is. It's there. But anyway, the hunter nearly dies. The crazy old Agra is actually in the series quite a bit. And she does have a few crises of faith, actually. But, welcomed, I should say. Comes in and makes a trade. Free the Gelflings and I'll give myself to save the hunter. She does. The hunter still dies, but he's not dead. It's more like he's in limbo for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The rest move. By the way, I should say this. There's something fucked up they do to his body,
Uh-oh.
which is, well, this is the thing. He dies, right, and they're all shocked. Even you know the guy that has that weird spike on his head.
Yep.
With the teeth. Yeah. So, um, he's the ritualist. His whole thing is he comes up with rituals for them to do every so often. Because they've never been killed or died, he has no idea what to do. This has never happened before. So the Emperor comes up with a brilliant idea. We won't bury him, we won't cremate him. We will put him in our finest armor and we will prop him up in my throne room so he may always be there at my side. You heard you heard me right.
What the fuck?
I have it right here. What they did to him. So messed up. It's like, okay. A bit fucked up. I don't know why you did this.
What?
It's messed up. I mean, I like it, but it's still kind of like, you could have done this a bit better. You know? Oof. So messed up. Again, this is like something out of a messed up
Yeah.
or a dark fantasy in general, but still. But he comes back, he's sprung back to life, and joins the Skeksis who are fighting against the Gelflings. And there's actually a full-on battle between, what is it? 1, 2, I think like 8 Skeks. I can't remember their exact numbers. But it's not all of them, it's like a majority, with the Emperor included. And they're actually fighting a bit of a battle with what's a little group of the Resistance. Like, not all of them make it on time. It's like, what, 5 of them? Or, sorry, not even, like 15 Gelflings fighting against the Skeksis. And it's good, you know, for what it is.
Yeah.
And naturally, the hunter arrives last minute, gets re-in, and comes close to killing the poor guy. Which, hold on, I think someone's here. Yeah, hold on. let me get the door before anything happens.
Get the door. Oh boy. Oh boy. Why does it keep doing that? Stop doing that. If anybody's been curious as to why I haven't really been responding lately, it's because I found the comic he was talking about and I was reading it. So I was only like half here. Didn't mean to. It just happens. Oh, I'm tired. Dogs are going home today.
Sorry about that. Hold on. I am caught. My chair is caught under a bag. Oh no. Oh, there it is. I need to clean up here. But yeah. But there we go. So. Yeah, the hunter joins in last second. By the way, there is. Like I said, the prophecy is shown in this series as well. The whole Gelflings will end Skeksis' power thing. It's a sword. And they call it, well, they call it the dual glaive, but it's not a glaive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to find it. But it's, okay. But this is the thing. It's a sword that can be broken into 2 other swords. How is this a glaive? You know, it's like, we couldn't come up with a better...
Glaive in of itself just means blade.
Well, true, but when you think glaive, you think thing you throw at people.
No, that's Warframe.
Yeah.
A glaive is usually a sword.
Okay, then I guess it makes sense then. Okay, I can't find it in the show, but artist rendition. Hold on. There we go. But there's a reason why this sword is absurdly powerful. Quotations. you know how the whole point of the movie is there's a piece of the crystal missing?
Yep.
The crystal is in the hilt.
Oh.
And they find out about this because the hunter breaks the sword. Which, again, this is the failure of the sword itself. They make it to be this great and powerful thing, like, insanely strong. And even Rian fights the general and beats him. Doesn't kill him, just beats him. Chamberlain kills him because, of course, he did. But he beats him, and that's the only thing the sword does. And then the sword is broken by the hunters. Like, fuck. Literally, he grabs it and throws it to the floor, and it shatters like it's made out of glass. Oh god, it's like, But no, of course, the hunter does get there. He talks about, like, how he conquered. And then the archer kills himself. All in that, 5 minutes? Well, not really. Basically, the hunter throws himself off the cliff where he's recovering. Because he knows he has to stop his darker half, but he saw a vision of himself being one again. So he does that, and Agra returns to life because of it. Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I said, it all ends in a cliffhanger. It will lead to the next one, but hope is there, you know? There is hope that things will get better. And you know, it's not like a cliffhanger that says, stay tuned for the next season that's gonna come. It's more like, this is the end of one chapter. That's the best way to put it. There's still more to come.
I mean, there's hope. Things can get better. Seen the Dark Crystal. I don't know. I've seen that movie.
I mean, hope for the reason. There's a hope that things will get better, but we know it's not going to get better because we've seen the end.
Yeah. I mean, this is the best part. We don't really have to worry about spoilers too much.
Yes. Before I forget, I do need to say this. There is a bit of a flaw with the hunter, or at least with the costume in general, and that is the running, when not CGI'd, looks terrible.
Not surprised.
Well, again, that's the problem. It looks ridiculous. Sorry.
What the fuck?
You see what I mean?
So, you know The Hobbit, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a dwarf in the grove who's really big. But he is the fastest runner of them all. He is really big. But he sprints past everybody because there is, like, wargs or something is right behind them. So he runs faster than everybody else. And it looks ridiculous.
And that's exactly what this is. I'm sorry, but it's like, dude, you could have made this look a little bit better. But yeah, like I said, this show is worth watching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just to see where everything goes. Like, and you know that meme of I've only known X person for 2 minutes meme?
Yeah.
That is basically me when it came to Deet. I've known her only for a few episodes or so, but if anything were to happen to her,
yeah,
myself. In that order.
Oh god. I've been watching a friend play Tales of the Borderlands. I love Gortys. Holy shit, I love Gortys. They're so cute.
Exactly.
I was in this call with Liam while playing Ark by myself, because I like playing Ark by myself and I actually kind of have to. And I told him, I met Gortys. You know what? I've only known them for like only a few minutes. I would kill everybody in the room, including myself, if anyone tried to touch him. Like the part where Gortys is trying to drag a dead body, thinking that they're asleep.
Exactly.
Just my reaction is like, oh no, exactly. That's awful.
Exactly, and Deed is very similar. It's like, she is so innocent. I wish to hug it. But like I said, this show it captures the magic that was Dark Crystal. in its purest essence, and I
Complete
was
with
so
really
happy.
funny running.
Yes, even.
Yeah.
And like I said, it shows things, like how things got worse, how things got better, all in a short amount of time. And it's really shocking. Like, even some characters, you see small details that happen to him. Like, you know how the scientist just has the weird mechanical eye, and you're like, what happened? Is that like his eye, or is that like a tool he just grafted on? No, it's his eye. We actually learn how the eye is lost.
Mm.
Um, it's a punishment.
Ooh.
Yeah. There is a creature they call a peeper bee.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you fill in the blanks from there. Yeah, they starve it. It's you know how what's the word of the bird? The name of the bird? Ravens? Yes, yes. You know how ravens eat the soft meat first?
Yeah, I get what you mean. You don't have to continue.
Yeah, exactly. I hate this thing, actually. I flat out hate the peeper beetle. Not just because of what it does, but how it looks. It is this, like... It's not even a beetle. It's like a little worm with pincers. And its eyes are comically huge. Like bright orange orbs that dart around like crazy. It's like a chameleon. I hate it. I hate it to no end. In fact, when me and my little brother were watching the series, the beetle was introduced, I immediately told him, look away, look away. And he's looking at me like, why should I? You don't want to see this. He saw it. He freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
As I expected. It's like, no, why would you do this? I told you not to look. Yeah, like I said, it's small details like that, and even after that happens, and he grafts on the machine, he even says, "Oh, I'm fine. I can see better than before." So, yeah, it swings and roundabouts. I want to say. So yeah. Actually, like I said, it has some great A-list too, which again I was so happy for. Mark Hamill really nails it as the scientist. Very. One second. I need to go pummel someone now.
Okay. Have fun. Is there anybody in chat? Like, we've been talking... Oh my gosh! We've been talking about the Dark Crystal for like an hour. Worth it. So worth it.
And I am back.
We have been talking about the Dark Crystal for literally an hour.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of wrapping it up. It's like, and yeah. So, end thoughts overall. Watch the show. For God's sakes, please. It is worth your time. And it isn't like some kiddie shit either. It's like, no. This is from the time era where kid shows could be violent. And then some.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Even
So,
the original Dark Crystal wasn't a kid's movie.
Well, yeah, but like people see the puppets are like, oh, it's just for children. No. There are things in this. Like, again,
the giant
it's
beetles
horrifying.
freaked me out.
The giant beetles? Oh, the Gartham.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually made them creepier in the show.
No.
Well, they only appear for like a few seconds. We're talking about one that's like a flash forward into the future, and then the end scene where, what's the word? Where the creature is finally revealed. But they did it well. Like how do I put it? They've improved the costume in amazing ways, and it's like I said, they make the creature look more natural and alive, I should say. They even give it moving eye, more jittery motions. Overall, it's just it's more alive. I say. Again, it makes you fear for the future. It's like, oh no. But yeah. So that's it. Like I said, Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. Please watch Netflix. Support the group. They really earned it.
Oh, definitely.
You will not be disappointed by this. Even though people say, "Oh, there's so many diverse characters. Oh, there's no political BS. The cast and crew do not attack the fans. It's finally something worthwhile." And in this day and age, that's saying something. Fuck, now I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move into the next topic at last, after a whole hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is something that recently came out, which is the Resident Evil, what's it called? Resident Evil...
Project Resistance.
Thank you, I had a moment.
We have 2 things on this list about Resistance.
I know, what is going on? Project Resistance. So, a teaser's come out. The game hasn't been officially announced. It's more like a teaser. And basically, it's... we'll just use this to show what it is, or give the general idea of what it is. I did a saying that.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this? There it is. So yeah, that's
Welcome
our crew.
to Left 4 Dead 3.
Exactly. Or
In a high school.
Or Friday the 13th. The game.
Or that I think it's like faculty game or something where I kept seeing it on Discord when it would show a preview of a game. It got so annoying. Where you're a bunch of kids trying to escape a high school with a killer in there.
Exactly. That's basically what this is. So, from the teaser, it goes like this. You and 3 other friends go into or are underground laboratory run by Umbrella. It hasn't been... Excuse me. It's been abandoned, clearly, for a few years, I want to say. But someone is still there and is opening the containment doors for a lot of creatures. We're talking about zombies, lickers, and to make matters worse, they have access to a Mr. X tyrant.
Oh no.
And here's the worst part. This fucker can control it remotely. In the trailer, it's a brief moment.
Hello, children. I would like to play a game.
Well, no. It's a brief moment, but this guy basically... I think he gets up from his chair after he releases the tyrant, and then he slips on a pair of gloves with metal compartments to it. And as he's flexing his fingers, so too does the tyrant. It's... I don't know how he's achieved it.
It's old-fashioned VR.
Yes.
That is still very much Saw right there.
Yes, but that's what I like. Whoever this guy is has successfully managed to create a controllable tyrant. Something Umbrella has failed to do for years. Mm. How did you do this? It's like, ow.
I have no idea.
But yeah, so these teens, let's be completely transparent. They are not combat specialists at all. In the trailer, when the licker attacks, it's trying to claw at the guy with the shotgun, trying to kill him. Someone gets it off him, and I believe it's the blonde girl with the pistol, starts shooting at the licker to try and kill it. But she's shooting wildly, she's shooting at it, not really hitting it. And the licker's not even it's not even distressed or trying to, it's not moving in the way like an animal that knows something dangerous is there. It's more like, oh, it's trying to hurt me. Okay, I'm just going to take a few steps back. Again, it kind of shows that if they were a professional, stop, relax, and pick the shots. Even with a even with a bioweapon. But, like I said, they ain't combat specialists. But that's basically what the game is shaped up to be. It is very clearly Left 4 Dead style game with something different, where you're not all stuck on you're not all stuck in one place or forced to stick into one place. It's more like you have the freedom to explore the map, but you're still locked in with everybody else. That's the best way to put it.
Just looking at the picture, I think I can understand the dynamic that they went with these characters.
Exactly.
Like,
I think it might be a 5. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I think it's a 5-player game where four of them will be the survivors, and then the last guy will be the one releasing and controlling.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Because right there in the corner, or at the very bottom, you see the red picture. And you notice that there are only 4 characters on the map. That tells me that this character, the red guy in the corner here, is actually the one releasing and controlling the monster. And is controlled by a player.
It's like those custom games from StarCraft, where
yes,
you have like a group, like one guy would be the one releasing the enemy units in floods towards the main group, and the main group's job was to defend an area. There was literally a map called Raccoon City, where if you don't have other friends, like an AI would actually control the floods of enemies.
Exactly.
And your job was to build defenses and upgrade your defenses as all these quote-unquote zombies, they were all fucking zealots, would come flooding in torrents.
Exactly, and I think that's what they're going with this. Which, if that's the case, that's great. It would be fun to have players pitted against another monster. Or, sorry, another player as a monster.
But, God, I can't stop yawning.
That's fine.
I think I understand what the characters are, though. It's like the usual dynamics here. Like, the blonde chick is the rebel teenager. She's got her dad's gun. She's got her dad's gun. She doesn't know how to use it, but it makes her look badass, so she has it. Obviously, the guy with the shotgun is the jock. Judging by the necklace around his neck, he is from a military family. Yellow hoodie is the brainy chick. She's likely going to be the one that works with all the computers and shit.
Yes.
Black kid, oh my gosh. He's likely the actual fighter. Either the actual fighter, or he's like the best at evading things.
Probably. Either way you slice it, we know where these archetypes are going to wind up.
Yep.
But there's a reason why people are kind of interested in this. And that is, have you ever heard of a Resident Evil spin-off game called Outbreak?
I think I've heard it, yeah.
Well, the basic gist of it is it's a very similar premise where you and 4 others are trying to make your way out of increasingly more difficult infested areas. But it had a story to it, basically. Like, it was a group of survivors trying to get out of Raccoon City before the city was destroyed, and they wind up going to different areas that they think will get them safe, only to have something far worse fight them, and then they're back in the city again after spending like an hour trying to escape. And that's the rough and tough of it, I should say. So yeah, let's see. But that's what people are saying. It's like it's very similar to the Outbreak series, and I look at it as like, yeah, I see it too. But I'm wondering more like, where does this game sit with Resident Evil? As in, like, a timeline wise, where is this going? Like, is this after Resident Evil 4, or sorry, Resident Evil 7, or is this, before 7? You know what I mean? Like, where in the RE timeline would this be?
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's a bit in the future, not going back to Resident Evil 2, timeline-wise, I mean.
That would be great.
Well, that's the thing. I don't mind Resident Evil 7. I actually enjoy the game. It's just I wish there was more that was shown with 7, you know, like where the timeline is going forward. Like, okay, Umbrella's no more. Then we have Blue Umbrella, and then we have other companies taking and creating their own bioweapons. So it isn't just Umbrella. Oh no, what are we gonna do? You know, they set things up, but they don't provide the payoff.
Okay, wow. Okay, I found a video of the StarCraft map for Raccoon City. You need quite a few players to fill out every single role. But I was right. Somebody gets to control the enemy. The first group that you select from is the police department. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players for the police department alone.
Good Lord.
I don't know what the next one is. I think it might be like Stars or something, or the military. I don't know. But the next one is 1 player, and it's Terran. But the final one is, immediately know what that is. That is the zombies, and it's 1 player, and it's Zerg. Which would make sense. Good God, this was uploaded on, in 2011.
Oh boy, don't you feel old now?
I used to watch my brother play this map over and over again. Dear gods. Anyway.
Yes, but like I said, it's kind of the point I want to say, or at least is that this seemed there's a good chance this could work, you know, as an interesting game, as a very fun thing. It's just going to be difficult to see, or you know, it's more of a wait and see approach where this is going to go, where this could go. I'm hoping it's something interesting, because there is potential here for at least a very fun game and a very interesting yet unusual for Resident Evil, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This map is so popular, it's still being played to this day.
Jesus.
And it's an old-ass game. Holy shit, it's old.
Don't you feel old now?
I can feel my hair turning white just watching those zealots and that blue flame particle effect. Also, dear God, buddy, the camera. Be very careful with the camera. You're zipping around everywhere. I can't see anything.
Just screaming. It's like, ah!
It's super sensitive. Anyway.
Alright. But yeah, that covers that. So that one too. Let's move on to the next topic here. And that is Gears 5.
Oh, dear Lord.
You know,
I was excited for it until I read the topic and went, oh no, what's happened?
You know, it's not often I get to see a franchise commit suicide. This is another example of that. So, let's get into it. Gears of War 5 has decided to shift its focus away from compelling and interesting JD Phoenix to Kate nobody gives a fuck about. And I mean it. Completely I mean it.
Oy.
Yeah. So this game is all about Kate, and normally I'm not bothered by these kinds of stories, you know? I think that every character should get their own adventure just so we can learn and understand who they are. Alright?
Yeah.
You know, I got no problem with that. I got a problem when you try to demonize the other character, or the other protagonist, to make him out to be some sort of evil monster. When, up to this point, he was nothing like that.
Dear gods, no.
I am talking about JD. So, to give a good example of this, the game starts you off playing as JD, and he shows a bit that he wants to prove himself, you know? Prove that he is a good person, or a decent soldier, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, you know, so far. He does some stupid decisions here and there, and I can't fault him. You know, I never did. But here's the problem. You see, it's about midway through his story, which is only at the beginning, where they retcon what he did to being hit. Okay, so you know how in 4, basically, he leaves the cog because they opened fire on civilians?
Yep.
Yeah, and it was very clear that he and Dell witnessed that, but had no way of stopping it.
Yep.
It was basically the robots just start shooting. Right. This game tells us that it was JD who ordered the robots to start shooting at the people because they were throwing incendiaries at them.
What the fuck?
What? I'm sorry, did I miss that part of Gears of War 4 where JD admits to shooting people, or was he so adamant about being against the whole idea that he would never do that? I'm sorry, what? What? What is this? So then we got another issue where the basic reason he and the others go to missile silo is to launch another Hammer of Dawn, so that way they can find the other ones to turn on the swarm. But the network is down, and they can't really target shit. A convoy of civilians is about to be destroyed by a swarm pack, and there's just no way to get everyone out. So he tells Bear to target him, like his transponder, and tell it to target a few feet ahead of him, so he becomes the beacon. Everyone's like, no, don't do that, right? But it works out. And then the satellites go crazy, and, well, it destroys the convoy, kills the people inside, and he gets horribly maimed as a result. This is where I start getting a problem, because it's a few months later, and none of the characters have changed physically. Everyone's still the same as they were a few months before. All except JD, who has undergone such a rapid character redesign. I am convinced this was another character, and just to stab stab JD and make him a villain, they just they claimed that this character was him.
I remember when we talked about Gears, when Gears of War 5 was just in concept.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you saying you had a problem with the way the characters behave because they had grim humor.
No, it wasn't just grim humor. It was
that's the thing right there. You complained about how the characters behaved.
Yes.
And I'm just guessing a lot of people complained about how the characters behaved. Mm-hmm. And the studio took it, but they took it in the wrong way. They read all this and went, oh, they don't like how these characters behave. Okay, well, why don't we do this instead? And they destroyed it. This is what you guys wanted, right? No.
This is the problem. You say that, but Kate and... What's the black guy's name? I've actually forgotten. Oh my... Dell. That's it. Kate and Dell are exactly the same as they were in the previous... Annoying kids to the point where I want to shoot you. It's like, shut up, take this seriously, and get moving, you know? So, again, we're going from this character, from what JD used to be, in the beginning of this game,
Mm-hmm.
So, slightly older, still the same guy, trying to be himself, right?
Yeah.
To this. In the span of a few months.
What? What?
Yes. Again, I'm convinced this was another character. And they just reused the name.
What the fuck?
He supposedly gets hit by the hammer, right? He's supposed to be scarred by the hammer. But we've seen what Hammer of Dawn burning is like. We've seen it.
Yeah.
His arm is clearly charred, still raw red. I know how that feels. But his whole face should be also ruined. This is... What? Y- y- Mm.
Why?
I'm trying to remember who the other character's name, because there is a guy in Gears who has a hammer of, like, he's fought against the cog and their hammer, and you see the results on him. I'm trying to remember this guy's name.
Probably not somebody I would know.
No, he's from Gears of War Judgment, I forget what it is. I think it's Judgment. Yeah, Judgment. Characters. Oh, that is Scorched Berserker. I don't want that. It's like, no, I don't need this. There it is, Garen Paddock, that's it. And we see what his wounds are, because he's a veteran who fought against the cog before, and we see how the scarring has appeared. Like, the skin is heavily charred, it's heavily damaged. You know, just in general, really up. Even his arm is still not fully recovered. But JD, like I said, if he's been hit by the hammer very directly, his hair should be gone completely. This is clearly shaved head. And his face is intact.
Crispy.
Yeah, his face should look like hamburger. So, I don't know what happened. So then they radically change his character too, by basically making him this incredibly militant asshole. Again, in the span of a few months. The fuck, you know? And it gets worse, where Kate is being assaulted by the Swarm mentally because her genes connect her to the Swarm because of her mother and grandmother. This is where the subtitle, this is where the other part of my little topic here comes in, which is attempts to retcon. We know where the Locust origins comes from. You know, they were experiments. We know that Mira, their queen, became the queen because they trusted her, because she cared for them and wanted them to have a better future.
Yeah.
This game tells us they engineered Mira and the Locust to need a queen, or else they don't work.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, where in Gears of War, prior to this, was that a thing? Where was it that it was said that the Locust needed a queen? Because last I checked, they're capable of independent thought. There was a whole civil war about one of them planning to kill and replace the queen, for fuck's sake. What is this? So they've made Kate a descendant of Mira, and that's why she can hear the Swarm in her head, and why they want her to be their new queen. Oh, but it gets worse. Remember Uncle?
Mm-hmm.
They've ruined him.
No!
Yes. So we all know Uncle. Loud, raunchy, drunk man, yes?
Yep.
They've taken him and have made him boring old shaman. Not even shaman, just boring old leader of a group of people who don't want to join the call. To the point where he treats Kate like utter garbage. Doesn't even hug. No, I think he hugs her, but doesn't acknowledge what's happened to her. Doesn't. As I know, this is just an imposter with his face.
I don't think we got that.
Oh, where did I cut?
We got Sage. He treated her like shit.
No, it was
Crispy.
no, but that's what I'm saying. It's just he treats her poorly, like a like the how do I put it? Like when the family has that sibling that nobody likes, but they have to like.
Mm-hmm.
He treats her like that, and then when he dies, I didn't feel anything because I'm convinced this is an uncle. This is somebody else that looks like uncle. And Kate makes this big thing because she's captured by a snatcher, and then suddenly she can control some swarm, and then she gets them to kill people. It's like, oh no, it's like, fuck off. This is my problem. You've taken Gears of War, which has always been a story about people fighting monsters, effectively. But monsters you felt sorry for, that you wanted to do, you wanted to at least find a way to make peace, if possible. And you've turned it into the Mary Sue Chronicles Part 2. I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flat out enraged by this to the point where I just how do I put it? When this happened, right? I could not, in my right consciousness, sit down and finish this atrocity. I couldn't. I know what happens. The game gives you a bullshit two-ending setup, which is what's her face? Swarm Queen Dead Mom. I'm not joking either. Literally, her mother is brought back to life. Some swarm mutant thing. She looks horrible, by the way. Like, we're talking pure fanfic level disgusting. It actually made me miss Mira. Congratulations, you made me think of someone. So, this monster bullshit queen thing basically has Dell and JD tied by the neck. And she's gonna kill one of them. And then you have to pull a knife from your belt and choose who you're going to save. Even though you have a gun. Even though you could shoot her right now.
Wow.
I'm looking at her, I'm like, you are not a soldier.
So that trailer that we saw, where you're running away
Mm-hmm.
from the, quote-unquote, poison,
Mm-hmm.
is that like a separate gameplay, or is that a part of this bullshit story?
No. It's a separate gameplay.
That is going to be the most played thing of that game.
Oh, I don't doubt it. No, here it is. This is it. Right here. The thing that drives me up the... What is this?
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was playing StarCraft!
Nuclear launch detected. God damn it.
I'm pushing the button as much as I can. It gets worse. It's just... If you choose to save Dell, JD dies. And then as soon as he dies, Marcus is really sad and distraught because his only son is dead. But if you choose to save JD, Dell dies. And JD is going to be a better person as a result. You see what I mean? This seems like a last-minute addition to make the more replayable. Who will you choose to save? Your boyfriend or your guy friend?
I'd say go with Dell. Save Dell. Just spare us from this bullshit. Save Dell.
Or just shoot the bitch. You have guns.
I can clearly
shoot
see
her.
a soft spot right there.
Stupid child.
She doesn't have a helmet. Aim for the freaking head.
Oh, it gets worse. So, not only do we have this problem, right? We have the bullshit of this whole swarm connectivity thing, which it drove me up the fucking wall. Because again, you're taking. By the way, you go back to the laboratory from Gears of War 1.
Oh,
You actually go back there. For all of a few. It's not even that. It's great, it's cool, but there's new shit that's added in that was never seen before. It's like, this is bullshit they just added. Because I remember going down this hallway and remember a dead fucking end. There wasn't a fucking hallway here. No, but the explosion probably made it. No, it's literally built in. So we've got that. We have the Jarvis guy back, who apparently made himself into an AI and brought himself to another hidden laboratory in the mountains and has been there. And apparently, what is it? Mira's husband, in quotations, left them because he was weak and stole her only child, but then she replaces her child with the Locust, and then it's like, fuck off. This is fanfic writing at its worst.
Makes you wonder who was in charge.
Someone who had an agenda. Because this whole thing reeks of it. It reeks of, let's demonize JD because he's evil. Let's make the bitch from the first game, you know, the chairman lady, that one. The one who talks to robots.
Yep.
Let's make her sympathetic by making her pregnant. So, we can't hurt her now. And let's just do that. It's like, It drove me up a fucking wall. This fanfic level bullshit with this incredibly obvious agenda. I've just... Like I said, I had hopes for the future, because, you know, a bad character... You know, young characters can be made good over time. You know? They grow up. They can be made better. But this isn't the case. I have no faith in the future for Gears anymore. It's going to die. It is going to fucking die. And you know what makes this worse?
Mm-hmm.
This game, its gameplay is not Gears. It's semi-open world. You're even given a little skiff to travel ice and desert. It's like, no, this isn't the fucking Last of Us.
I mean, like, a Gears of War open world would actually be cool, just not this.
And I'm not against the idea of having vehicles in Gears. We've had vehicles in Gears of War, and they were amazing. You know,
we missed a chance with, like, riding around on those giant horse things. But no, that had to be a cutscene thing only.
No, it would have been great. You know, I loved the tanker in Gears of War 1, where you had to stop and use the floodlight. I loved riding on the fucking drill platforms and defending them from the Locust. I loved using the Minotaur, the tank, and just all of that. I don't mind vehicles in my Gears. I mind when you build open levels. No, I don't mind that. I mind when you butcher what Gears of War should be into this Last of Us bullshit. Gears of War works when it's linear and straight to the punch. Not this open world crap. Like I said, I have no faith in Gears anymore. As far as I'm concerned, Gears of War ended with 3. And I'm leaving it there. I'm done. I'm done with it. Oh my god. And they did it again with Carmine. We have him again. Remember Clayton?
Yep.
He's back in Gears, but he's not he's not part of the story or anything. He's obviously retired. And I was so happy to see him again. I'm like, Clayton, yes, the grub killer himself.
Uh-oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
There's another member of the Carmine family. Mm-hmm. We saw another one already. What's his name? Oh god, I'm trying to remember his name. The one that had the what's the name of that hat? Gary, that's it. We had Gary. You know, he died. in Gears 4. And I was like, oh, come on, really? Another one appears as well. This time a girl. Her name is Elizabeth Carmine. Or Lizzie. I actually liked Lizzie. She was very funny. You know, not the type of funny like, oh my god, shut up. The type of this like, let's go kick some ass funny, you know?
Yep.
Even when... The thing I love... Yeah, I know, laugh it up.
I love the Carmine.
Always wearing helmets.
Just there, it's like that Doom cartoon we saw where he's working in an office. He doesn't
Exactly.
like his children have helmets. It's not necessary, but it's there.
Yeah, but no, what I loved was that Clayton is sitting there. You know, he has to sit down because he's old. And when he gets up, you actually hear him groan and everything. And she kind of makes fun of him for it. You know, my old, hey, uncle, my old, the old. And I was like, oh, why do you have to do this to him? You know, but I was at the same time, I was like, yeah, it's great to see him again. Fortunately, he doesn't die. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Elizabeth dies, though.
Oh.
They have a whole scene of her trapped in the convoy trying to get out, and the hammer hits her and kills her.
Yeah.
You know, the beam destroys her, and a bunch of civilians, too. And I was, like, horrified, and I was sad, but at the same time, I remember, oh, she's a Carmine.
The Carmines are literally the Kenny of Gears.
Yes, this is the problem. Your big, what's the word? Your big... Oh my god. Your big dramatic moment of people dying is ruined because you had a Carmine.
Yeah.
But no, and like I said, I love the Carmines. I feel terrible about them all the time. I wish there was a way to break this curse.
Well, you have to admit, in the older Gears, whenever it came to an enemy they wanted to introduce, and just relay to the players just how dangerous they were, you needed to have somebody die. So why not the Carmines?
True.
The one with the Berserker is always going to haunt me.
Oh no, that wasn't a Carmine. That was someone else.
Okay, thank God.
No, but I get what you mean. But this is the other problem. And then we've another issue. Like I said, this whole game is just, it's a nightmare. It's terrible. It's poorly written. It might be fun to play and everything, and if people enjoy it, great. That's why you play games, to have fun.
Yeah.
But I like to nitpick the stories, and I can safely say this story fails Gears completely.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm done with Gears. It ended with 3, and I'm leaving it there. 4 doesn't exist, and neither does 5. If 6 happens, it's a what if to me. I'm done. This is me officially washing my hands of Gears of War, and probably will never talk about it on the show ever again.
Unless they do like a remaster of an older one.
Yes, like 1, or if they actually make the next decent, that's it.
Yeah.
And even then, that's probably not going to happen. It's just like with Borderlands. It doesn't exist to me. That's why we're never covering Borderlands 3. Except if something happens to Gearbox.
By the way, Loaderbot is insane.
Yes, he is. My righteous father, I have...
I love Loaderbot.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Yeah.
I gotta possibly let the dogs out in like 2 minutes.
Okay. I guess we should take a break here then.
Yeah.
Okay, we will see you all in a...
We'll be right back.
Yep.
Alright, now it's just me in the audience. I'm going to put that song that we play for the intro. I'm going to play it on repeat. If you don't want to listen to it, that is fine. You can mute and tab away. Just take this time to get up, stretch, reconnect with your hive mind, whatever it is you need to do. Put that in loop. We will be right back. Okay. Go, chat has been fixed.
And we're back.
Right when the song ends. There we go.
So yeah, we've got about 2 more things, relatively quick. Should end show in a few. So yeah, let's get into the next bit.
I have I have pizza dough upstairs inflating right now because I'm gonna be cooking dinner tonight. So by the time we're done here, I am gone.
All right.
Now you're yawning, haha.
No, I'm yawning because I'm tired. Because work is a bitch.
And I've been yawning this entire session.
Alright, so let's get into it. Again, should be relatively quick.
Yeah.
The next one is the Steam versus Epic issue, and there is a clause that we should cover.
Yay?
So,
I know the Epic is bad.
Well, basically, it goes like this. As we all know, the poacher that is Epic Store is constantly coming in at the 0 hour and trying to remove games from Steam in order to hurt Steam's sales and everything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
As of recently, there has been something that has been in place by Steam to prevent this. Something that no one or most people have forgotten over time. But it is a clause that has re-seen the new light of day that can actually put Steam developers, those who put their games on Steam, not members of Steam itself, not Steam employees, I should say, but people who want to put their games on Steam at risk, and that is the following, which is the Valve Corporation Steam Distribution Agreement Clause 2.1 delivery. Companies shall submit the application to Steam for release no later than the first commercial release of each application or localized version, or, if already commercially released, as of the effective date within 30 days of the effective date. Thereafter, companies shall submit to Steam any localized version of an application updates in beta and final form, when available, but in no event later than then they are provided to any other third party for commercial release. Company shall provide these copies in object code form in whatever format Valve reasonably requests. So to translate that into the roughest form I know, again, I don't speak legalese, but roughly it means if you've released a game for Steam or have planned to release a game for Steam, you are legally bound to release that game on Steam no matter what, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, anyone who takes the Epic Store deal and has already put up a beta key version for their game is legally required to release that game on Steam, even if they have a quote-unquote exclusivity deal with Epic, or else they'll face, Valve's legal team in a court of law, since they are violating a section of their end-user agreement. The problem is that this is very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Dubious in court. While Valve could do this, legally speaking, it's very difficult to combat this. It's more like a how do I put it? It would be a hassle for everyone to go through with this. At the same time, Valve would likely win any sort of legal case because they put this clause in. And it is the third-party people who are violating it. So the question now becomes, what's going to happen? Because this has been recently rediscovered, and Valve has been updating it.
There's going to be a lot of game developers getting hard hit.
A lot of game developers. Honestly, if you ask me, those who betrayed Steam and their customer base, by going Epic exclusive, should feel the ramifications of this legal fallout. They really should.
Though, to be fair, there are some game developers that are Epic exclusive who this is like their first time ever releasing a game. And they're not aware of what's happening.
Yeah, and for that, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying everyone who goes to the Epic Store deserves to get a legal backlash. No. God, no, I would never say that. I am saying those who have promised their fans Steam access, but instead chose to take the Epic Store exclusivity and told their fans to suck it, deserve everything this happens to them and then some. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is the price of greed.
Yep.
And honestly, now the question becomes, who's going to be the one to get the brunt of Steam's justice now that they've been reminded of this clause in their agreements?
Probably the bigger games that have been put on Epic.
What, like Metro?
Give or take, yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not saying go for the small fries. That's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because you galvanize the others to go against you. It's like, oh, look at the big guy attacking us little people. That's the problem.
Definitely go to the bigger guys.
Yeah. Metro would probably be the best one to go after, in my opinion. Because let's face it, they said, screw you, we're doing this at 0 hour. And honestly, Epic's not doing anything better. People like to, what's the word? They like to pick on Steam for being lazy or whatever else have you, but Epic's been doing nothing, excuse me, to update or upgrade their storefront or the problems they're having with the store page. Like, the amount of problems Epic is having kind of tells me that they've rushed this. They don't really care. They just want to topple Valve off of its throne. But honestly, I don't think they are going to topple Valve off its throne because, look at it. Aside from it being around for a good while, obviously, Valve knows the internet. When was the last time Valve was in a what's it called? In a scandal, or anything of that nature? Yeah, you see?
Borderlands 3 should be struck.
Who said that?
I'm actually looking at Epic right now.
Oh, okay. I thought someone sent that as like as a suggestion.
Tom
Borderlands
Clancy's
3.
Ghost Recon might be struck. The Walking Dead.
Well, hold on. This clause affects games who have already set up a Steam store first. That's the thing.
World War Z. Windows 6.
Okay.
Borderlands.
But that's my point.
Ancestors.
Epic.
Oh, we know that's new. Never mind.
But this is my thing. Epic, like I said, Epic is. People want to see Epic fail because Epic is doing the console shit nobody cared for. And instead of being, realizing, okay, we probably shouldn't do that, let's draw people in by being, better than Steam, i.e., better quality control and everything. They're more like, no, we'll throw money at the problem. Oh, look, if you come to us, we'll give you more money, more money, more money. That's what they're doing. And it's not healthy competition to Valve. It's more like, okay, this is annoying. They're fucking the people over, and like I said, eventually something's gonna happen. People, let me rephrase that. People want Epic to fail. They're already gunning for Epic's head, and no amount of goodwill that Epic can muster or ever make will stop that. People want it gone because it's introduced something nobody wanted, which is the console exclusivity bullshit we all went to the PC to escape.
Oh no.
What?
So there's this game that's like somewhat VR that I've been following since like early development, and it's on Epic.
There you go, you see?
Oh no. It's a beautiful game.
They poach games from other developers, and they don't give a shit, and that's the problem. Steam, again, say what you will about Steam, but Steam understands the internet, and that's the only reason why they're still around. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, Epic doesn't understand that. Epic believes that if we do the console thing, which is just keep demanding money from the people, keep throwing money at the problem, eventually we will come out on top, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they're gonna fall apart, because people want Epic to fall apart. And I'm in that boat as well. I'm not gonna be... Mind you, I'm never gonna say Epic doesn't do anything right. No. God, no. But I am sitting there waiting for its head to come up on a pike. We'll report when it does something right or something good. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we're not going to hold their hand either. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
To put it in a better perspective, if Epic Store does something correct, we'll report on it and say, okay, they did a good thing. But that's it. They've done more wrong than good, and we're never going to let them get that. Call me a grudge keeper all you want, but I like to consider myself never to be fooled again. Never again. So let's see. But yeah, like I said, this clause might, like I said, put Epic in a bind, because now it's a legal problem, and if Steam decides, you know what, let's enforce this, we could be seeing a very interesting lawsuit. Or worse. But yeah. So that covers that little piece of litigation, and yeah. So let's go on to the last bit, and again, we come back to our punching bag. It's been... How long has it been? A few months?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a few months since we've seen the old punching bag. I am, of course, talking about Epic. Or, sorry, not Epic, Fallout. And how stupid you're being again. No. So, everyone knows we talk about Fallout 76 quite often on the show. It's become our routine little punching bag, really. So, we bring this up now because Fallout 76 has decided to take the bullet and try to go fee to pay instead of free to play. And that is, it's added It's added in gameplay affecting microtransactions into its game. Again, unfortunately, this isn't the thing that the anti-loot box litigation can strike. Technically, they're still in their legal right to do this. Yet, give it time. If enough people get tired of it, same thing with Battlefront 2. Or sorry, same thing that happened with Battlefront 2. But anyway, so basically, this latest update introduced the following, and that is, it has two new gameplay affecting things. And that is a new type of robot called Collectabots, and Collectrons, and refrigerators. Yes, they're charging you for fridges. Yes. And just so people don't assume I'm making this up either, I'm actually looking up the Atomic Shop pricings for both objects. I found the fridge. I'm just trying to find the Collectrons. Oh, they're basically just protectrons that collect shit for you. But so everyone knows I'm not making this up, I have it right here.
Oh, goody. What the fuck?
Yes, that's $7. $7 for a fictional fridge.
What?
And it does affect gameplay. You see, game has a spoiling mechanic, right? The longer you don't consume, the moment you take out food from whatever, it will begin to spoil. And you have to eat it or else risk getting poisoned, effectively. Now, this actually, the idea for the fridge actually came from a fan who said, hey, I'm getting tired of always having to eat my food right on the dot instead of saving it for an emergency. Why don't you give us a fridge so we can put it away? And the idiot said, you could put it in the Atomic Shop. Whoever that man was, I need to punch them in the face.
This is why a good number of players are probably switching to the cannibalism mutation.
No, sorry, not face. I need to punch him in the neck. Hard. But, yes, so as you can imagine, that's where the problem kind of stems from. The fridge, the $7 fridge, makes it so you will be able to keep your food fresh for a longer period of time. It is a camp object. It means you can spawn it whenever you want. But we're still talking, even as minor as it is, we are still talking about a gameplay affecting mechanic locked behind a paywall. And people are not happy. They are flat out saying, no, remove it from the Atomic Shop and make it something we can earn in the game. There's already an outcry for it. And then you have the Collectrons, which is literally robots that will go out there and get scrap metal for you, or whatever else you need, and bring it to you, so you can make things. For $5. These are two gameplay affecting objects. And frankly, like we've all expected and predicted from day one, Bethesda has broken its no gameplay affecting objects hidden behind microtransactions. It's all cosmetic. And this is why I can't believe companies or anyone or any game maker who says, no, it's just cosmetic. Because eventually it will not be cosmetic. Thank God for DE. And at least it's keeping its promise.
Yep.
I never thought I would say that. You know my history with it. Well, sorry, my history with them.
Yep.
It still just irks me to no end. And this really does bother me, because, like I said, they don't view their fans with respect. They just see them as walking piggy banks that resist them. Yes, like I said, walking piggy... And that's all they see in you. That's all they see in their fans. They don't care
Mm-hmm.
They stopped caring years ago. All they care about is the money the fans can produce. And this has been a problem with Bethesda since way early in the day. The paid mods deal catastrophe. Every time you've given Bethesda an inch, they take the fucking mile and beyond. And it's almost impossible to get them to back off. I'm so sick of it. Everyone is sick of it. Is it any wonder why The Outer Worlds, despite being an Epic Store exclusive, is gonna kill Fallout? Because they're doing things people want. And that's saying something.
Yep.
It's just... It always fills me with so much rage towards Bethesda whenever they think people are stupid. And then, you know, they think, oh, nothing will come of it. You lose players, dumbasses. Pretty sure you're going to have to go free to play, and even then nobody's going to want to play you. You're going to be stuck with a dead game and dead servers, and within a few years you're going to shut... what is it? Probably hundreds of dollars you got worth it out of a possible million? Was it really worth it? Because I'm willing to bet it wasn't.
I mean...
Always... Go ahead.
Look what happened when it came to Skyrim.
Oh, God.
Like, we saw what happened with Skyrim. The second it, like, won one award, like, Bethesda started pushing it more and more. They won all these awards. Bethesda started remaking it over and over and over and just kept reselling it and reselling it. People liked it,
Exactly.
but it just got overdone. Just because we showed a tiny sliver of interest.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Bethesda has been circling the drain for years.
Mm-hmm.
Because, first off, they keep using the same old engine. Nobody cares. They keep using the same old code. No one cares about it, and people can still exploit to this day. They don't improve, they don't innovate, and they don't bring any interest to anyone. Because everyone's done with them. They're sick and tired of the constant Bethesda, let's re-release the same shit and never improve. And this is funny because it goes against my philosophy. I believe that if you're going to make a game, right, you need a solid foundation, a solid core first. Then, if there's time, work on gimmicks. If you're going to make a shooter, great. Focus on building the shooter aspects of it and then add the fun stuff, if it can be supported. Because half the time, these games wind up failing because the people keep using the same... what you call it? It keeps failing because the people keep using the same tired shit, you know? They keep trying to improve
It's cookie
upon
cutter with a little polish.
Yes. Oh, no, sorry, not cookie cutter with a little polish. It's more like... A better way of describing it is this. It's basically... They keep trying to make the game... improve on the game and say, oh, we'll build these revolutionary things, oh, groundbreaking, oh, this, oh, that, oh, that, and then they kill the game.
Yep.
Because they make it into this this ungodly abomination that no one can play. They wind up creating this thing nobody wants to talk about. It's like cancer. I'm kidding.
Yep.
And this is what kills Bethesda. Like I said, I believe that if you're going to build a sequel, keep what was good about the original and then just add on to it. You don't risk losing anything if you keep the core. Bethesda is the exact opposite. They need to improve. The core is rotted. You need a new core. And it irks me. Because Bethesda will never truly die. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Bethesda will never learn. They'll just stay as this annoying evil for a long time before eventually just dying off on their own. And I just can't wait. I can't wait for it to be over, you know? It's why I want the Outer Worlds to succeed. Have something that fights Bethesda and says, no, you don't need to keep playing their same tired games. Here is something new, something fun. That's what I hope for. And let's face it, what's it called? This company, I forgot what the company is called. It's in the back of my head. What was it called? Come on, it's in the back of my skull. Obsidian? No, it wasn't Obsidian.
No, Obsidian made good games.
No, it's... No, what? Is it Obsidian? Hold on. Outer Worlds Developers. Devs are... Yeah, it is Obsidian.
Hmm.
But that's the thing. Obsidian has been abused by Bethesda for years because Obsidian can do their job better, and Bethesda hates it. They know it and they despise it. And honestly, they deserved a chance to become something new, to say to Bethesda, you know what, fuck you guys. We're going to take your stuff and we're going to make it better.
And then
that's what
Epic
Outer
Game
Worlds
Store
is.
swooped in.
And yeah, and exactly. And that's what's going to kill the Outer Worlds. Because no one's going to want to buy it off of Epic. Because they have too much bad blood. And this is why, like I said, it's why I fear that Obsidian isn't going to defeat Bethesda at all. Because they did one stupid... Again, it's like, imagine a knight who has all the best armor in the world and everything. And instead of getting... He's completely souped out to take on the tyrant. But at the last minute, he decides, I'm going to throw away my metal shoes, and is now walking over the land of Legos. That's exactly what's happening to Obsidian. They threw off the shoes and are now walking through the Lego land. Just so angry. Just... Need to hurt something.
Bethesda needs to really clean itself up, or at the very least just disappear for a while. If not entirely.
If they clean themselves up, I'll be fine. I'll be happy, and I can just like say, you know what? Okay, great. But again, we both know why we're interested, or why we're curious about Bethesda. Or sorry, about these games and everything. You know why we're doing this?
Mm-hmm.
We're after its fucking models to make something better
very
with
much.
them. It's like, great, okay, yeah, there's this amazing game and everything. And okay, where are the
this is
models?
a really cool dragon design. Can I just take this, please? Thank you.
Exactly, that's it. That's our own goal.
Oh, is that a Death Claw? Yeah, I'll just take this and give it to the porn people. Dear gods, there needs to be more of that.
I'm sure it's up there. But, like I said, it's just... It becomes a matter of just, we need to, you know... Our objective is just that. We're only in it for the models just so we can make amazing things, like comics, stories, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've always been about that.
Yeah.
Like I said. I'm just waiting. It's why I hope that people can rip the models from the Outer Worlds. Because, like I said, it's going to be more interesting.
Well, like I said, what I saw of the trailer when it came out all that time ago, there was nothing about it that said that it was made by the same engine.
Exactly, because they're not using the same engine.
Thank gods.
It's their own in-house thing. Which means, yeah, it's probably prone to bugs, but I don't care.
There was a post on Tumblr that said, like, pros and cons, like, I think it's like pros and cons, like, if you got into a fight with either Hussey from, like, Homestuck, or Todd Howard, and somebody actually broke it down rather carefully, and pointed out that Todd Howard would glitch so bad that Andrew Hussey's weapons would change within an instant, and Todd Howard could just go God mode and then invert himself. Just by how glitchy he was.
Exactly.
Oh, and when you fight Andrew Hussey, you never... all you ever hear is, like, Megalovania.
Yes.
You know it's
but like I said... But that's what I'm saying. Oh god. But that's what I'm saying. The things in Outer Worlds look amazing. Some of the weapons look cool. The creatures are amazingly designed.
The
Like I said, it's like
cutscenes.
yes, it's like again Monster Hunter meets oh god, what was that game from? Oh, I'm trying to remember. No Man's Sky, that's it. It's like Monster Hunter meets No Man's Sky designs. It's like I said, I want so much of this to be awesome. Fight these creatures and meet these aliens. It's like, yes.
Yay.
But I think I think I'm ranted out now. My mind is going. I'm talking in circles now.
Yay.
But yeah. Again, that covers everything, I suppose, for today. Unless you want to add anything to it.
No, not really.
All right.
Oh my gods.
Yeah, giant mantis.
Oh, that is so cool. I like that we're attacking him while just wearing a jacket and jeans.
No, and sorry, she saw the mantis I sent. But that's the other thing. Like, its design, even towards the face and everything, it's crazy interesting. It's just like the Grabnadu. Like, look at its face from like the side and everything.
Come on, picture.
Face.
It looks pretty cool. Very colorful.
Exactly. That it's better than anything Bethesda could make. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hell, even the what's it called? There's even like this weird gorilla-like aliens, which supposedly are semi-sentient, based on like a propaganda poster out there. And I was like, oh my god, these look cool. I want to fight it. Can I punch it in the face? Exactly. It's like it's this new alien species that no one's faced before, and yada yada. It's like, I'm gonna punch it in the face. No.
Oh god, there's a D&D group I listen to sometimes when I want to lose my lungs for the night. They have a character who's a tiny little red kobold. He's really tiny, but he's like military, and his thing is that he loves to hunt. It's what he does. So when he sees like something brand new, like a new creature, only creatures, not people. Like when he sees a new creature, everyone else's thought is, I want to study this, or I want to watch it because it looks amazing. His thought is, I'm gonna kill that.
Exactly.
And
yes.
like at one point, he looks out the window of an airship to see a giant flying whale. And he's looking at it, and like he's hearing from a little girl behind him saying, they're very rare, they're guardians of the sky, but they're very pretty and mysterious. And he's looking and going, I'ma hunt that. And it's like the size of a blue whale, by the way. And kobolds are like 4 feet tall.
Yes, they're very small.
He wants to hunt it.
I'm just picturing him doing the Link run towards it, just trying to smack the
trying to get up in the air where it's at, because it's like up in the atmosphere or something.
No, no. It would have been smarter to just wait for it to land and then just run.
It doesn't land. That's the thing.
Oh no.
But like, what's funnier is that in my mind, because of the way the D&D campaign designs their kobolds, they all have ears of some shape or form. So he has really long rabbit-like ears. My thought is he's gonna flap those things like an airplane. Just near.
Just hear this loud like.
Cause.
But yeah, again, I suppose that covers everything for tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into this week's episode of Left for Random Talk. As per usual, HH will be here to do her usual end of the show spiel, and yeah, hope to see you all next Thursday. This is Rev, signing out.
Okay, now it's just me and the audience. Well, whoever's here. I'm debating on it. I actually have to start working on dinner right now. There will hopefully be a Okami stream tonight. Not sure. If not tonight, then there will be an Okami stream on Saturday. Just I have stuff going on today, which was the podcast, and then tomorrow, which is D&D. I have messaged YouTube about the issue with the link that keeps showing up in the description on YouTube. They're looking into it. I kind of doubt it. But you guys know what I'm going to say. I've done like 62 episodes of these and multiple other streams about this. Don't click on the creeper face down below on Twitch, and don't click on the link down below on YouTube that says support the stream by donating here. They don't work. I really have no free time, but I am working very hard to find time to go to the bank and get that set up so it'll start working. Just not right now. I'm working on it. We're going to raid my friend Salty Dark on Twitch. There's only 2 people here on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, I am sorry, this is where we're going to end it. I will see you guys hopefully tonight, if not Saturday. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, wait, no. Right, raid has a countdown timer of 10 seconds. I keep forgetting that. Well, I'm gonna be watching them anyway. Yeah. Now, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.